integer n to here that is counting the digits of a number using while loop. So the problem says that we are given an integer n and we are required to tell the number of its digits. So for example, the number is 35493. So we can see that there are 5 digits over here. So the output comes out to be 5. So how can we solve this problem? So let us try it out. So first of all, let us write the bare minimum code. So I can say that I create an object of the scanner class and I read the input in num variable using the scanner object. Now how can we go about solving this problem? So we can clearly see that if we have a number, let's say 3, five, 4, 9, 3. And if we repeatedly divide it by 10, so if I divide this number by 10, I will get the quotient as 3549. Note that I'm only storing the integer values, I'm discarding the decimal part. So if I divide it by 10 again, I will get 354 again, and I get 35 once more, and I get 3, and final iteration I get the quotient as 0. So we continue dividing the number by 10 until we get a 0. So now what do we observe over here is that after each division, one digit is removed. So after each iteration, we observe that one digit, or more accurately, the last digit. The last digit is removed. So in the first iteration, 3 got removed, then 9, then 4, then 5, and then finally we were only left with one division, and then that was removed, we were left with 0. So the idea is very simple. We keep on dividing our number by a factor of 10 until we reach 0. And once we have done so, we can simply count the number of times we divided it. So in this case, I divided it 5 times. I was able to divide my number by 10 5 times. And if we were to simply count these iterations, we would get the total number of digits. Since in each iteration one digit is removed, after 5 iterations, we found that all the digits were removed, and hence our final answer came out to be 5. So the ideology is very simple. Keep on dividing by 10 until you reach 0, and finally print the number of iterations. So let us create a variable called digits that will store our final answer, and we will print it to the console. Now to do the iterations, we are going to write a while loop. Inside our while loop, what we are going to do is, we are going to divide our number by a factor of 10. We are going to continue dividing it until the number is greater than 0, until we do not reach 0. And while performing these iterations, we will simply update our digits variable. So if we were to dry run this code for a test case, let's say 9876, let's say this is the number that has been provided to us. So we initialize our digits variable. Let me write it over here. Digits is initially 0. So we start with our loop. We check whether num is greater than 0, and indeed it is. We divide this and it gets reduced down to 987, and we update our digits variable to 1. We again check whether this value 987 is greater than 0, and if it is, we continue with our iterations. We again divide it by a factor of 10, so 987 becomes 98, and we update our digits variable, so this updates to 2. Then again we check if it is greater than 0. 98 is indeed greater than 0, so we will again divide it by a factor of 10. It reduces down to 9, and parallelly we update our digits variable. We again check whether we have still reached 0 or not, and no, we have not. So we will again divide it by a factor of 10. Finally, we will reach 0. And in this iteration, we also have to update our digits variable to the value of 4. Finally, we check whether num is greater than 0. This time it is not. So we stop iterating our loop. Our loop terminates, and finally we print the value of digits, that is 4. So the final answer for this particular test case, 9876, the final answer is 4, and we can see that is the exact number of digits that we have over here. So that's it for while loops. Hope you understood this problem, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Thank you for watching. Hey everyone, Tarun here, and today we are talking about the do-while loops in Java. Do-while loops are the third kind of loop in Java. They are very similar to the while loops in syntax. However, there is one small difference. The do-while loops are exit controlled loops. So they are exit control loops, which means that in the do-while loops, the condition is checked at the time of the exit. The syntax for do-while loops is as follows. We write curly braces, and inside these curly braces we write the body of the loop. At the end we have the while condition as in the while loop itself. So let us try to understand it with the help of an example. So let's say that I have an integer over here. Let's say int I is equal to 5, and let me write a while loop first. So I'll write while I greater than 0. Basically run this loop as long as I is a positive value, and just print the value of I. And in each iteration I will be decrementing the value of I. So let me run this code. So if I run this, you'll see that I get the output as 54321. So my iteration begins from 5, and in each iteration the value of I is decremented by 1, and the loop goes on as long as I is greater than 0. Now if I were to change this value from 5 to -5, and now if I executed this program, you will see that I get absolutely no output whatsoever, because the while condition over here is does not allow the value of -5 to get executed in the first place. Now let us try changing this code to a do while loop. So let me cut this and put it at the end, and at the beginning I'll just write the keyword do. So this is the syntax for a do while loop. Let us first try it for I is equal to 5 only, as we have it executed in the first place. Now let us try changing this code to a do while loop. So let me cut this and put it at the end, and at the beginning I'll just write the keyword do. So this is the syntax for a do while loop. Let us first try it for I is equal to 5 only, as we had done previously for the while loop. You will find that we get the same output, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. However, if I change the value to -5 this time, and this is where the fun begins. So you'll see that this time I get an output of -5. So let us try to understand what happened. So I has been initialized to -5. In a do while loop, the body of the do while loop is at least executed once. So what the Java interpreter will do is, it will go and it will simply start executing the code inside the loop directly. So it will print the value of I, which is -5. It will decrement the value, and then I will become -4. And it is after the one complete execution of the loop body that the condition is checked. The condition for the loop is checked at the exit time and not at the entry time. And thus the do while loop is also known as the exit control loops. So it is when the condition is checked, this will return false. So since -4 is not greater than 0, so this will return a false. Is checked, this will return false. So since -4 is not greater than 0, so this will return a false, and the loop will break and our program will terminate. So this is the output that we ended up with. So that's it for do while loops. Hope you understood this tutorial, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Thank you for watching. Hey everyone, Tarun here, and today we are going to see a problem that is sum of positive numbers. So the problem